Bonjour les étudiants. This is the last video for chapter 1, and this is competence 3 and 4. For the pronunciation of all the vocab, just wanted to remind you that you just go to the vocab page or throughout the textbook and make sure that you look for the clickable items, and you'll be able to find the pronunciation for most of these words. Email me if you have a question with that. The reason why I wanted to come back and do a third video in chapter 1, it's for the expression il y a. I really love this expression. It is very useful. It means there is, there are, il y a. And you use it with objects or people, right? And the way you use it is you not only need the word, but you also need what we call the indefinite article. So in French, we have indefinite articles and definite articles. So the indefinite articles are the words some, the word a or an, like an apple, a student, to refer to something, and that's not specific, right? The definite articles is in English there's just one. It's the. So in this example, would be the theater, the theaters, the library, the libraries. That's the definite. This is the indefinite. A theater, a library, some theaters, some libraries. Okay, so there is a theater. Il y a un théâtre. Okay? This is the expression il y a right here at the top. Il y a une bibliothèque. Il y a des théâtres. Il y a des bibliothèques. So there is a theater, there are theaters. So words in French are masculine or feminine. Usually, if the word ends with an E, that tells you that it's feminine, but there are some exceptions like théâtre or livre, for example, book, right? But 80% of the time you will find that that will really guide you. Okay? So E and ES, that marks feminine and masculine, right? And in this case, because it's an exception, you have that E at the end, but S will be for masculine, right? So un théâtre, des théâtres, a theater, some theaters, a library, some libraries. Okay, so you use the expression il y a with un, with une, with des, right? And if there isn't something, you use the expression il n'y a pas de. And the reason why un, une, des switched to de is because pas means not, right? Which is a quantity word. So with quantity words in French, to say we have a little of something, we have a lot of something, even in English we use the preposition of, right? Can I have some of that? Can I have a little of that? So in French, de means of. So if we don't have that, so we use the preposition de and we substitute, we take these out and we put this one. So il y a un théâtre, il n'y a pas de théâtre. Il y a une bibliothèque, il n'y a pas de bibliothèque. Il y a des bibliothèques, il n'y a pas de bibliothèques. Okay? You're saying there is none of that. There is none of what you're saying. And you don't use it with the verb to be. That's the only exception. So you use it with all the other verbs, like to write, what there is, there are, but you do not use it with the verb to be. So the affirmative and the negative look the same. C'est un bon restaurant. Ce n'est pas un bon restaurant. And here, in this example, UN doesn't change to DE, like in the other examples. Look at these. Il y a un stade, il n'y a pas de stade. Il y a une résidence, il n'y a pas de résidence. Écrivez des phrases complètes, n'écrivez pas de phrases complètes. Il y a des étudiants, il n'y a pas d'étudiants. Okay? So you do that on all verbs with the exception of to be. And you see these are quantity words in French that use the DE. So there are how many parkings? There are enough parking places. Il y a assez de parking. Il y a beaucoup de bibliothèques. There are a lot of libraries. Il y a combien de cinémas? How many cinemas are there? Right? Okay. And you also use de when you have a word with an adjective that is placed before the noun. So in French, most adjectives are placed after the noun, which is the opposite of English. In English, we put the adjectives before the noun. A pretty woman, right? Pretty goes before woman. But in French, most adjectives go on the second position, meaning after the noun, with the exception of 15. Okay? So if you have an adjective before the noun and the object you're describing is plural, the des will turn into de. And this is just a very it's an exception, right? That will show up once in a while. Okay. And this competence comes back with the difference between c'est and ce sont, il est, elle est, ils sont, elles sont, which we already discussed, but there is a good description of how to use it. So I would definitely go back. So for adjectives, most adjectives are placed after the noun, with the exception of these 15. These 15 go before the noun. Beau, belle, jolie, jeune, vieux, nouveau, bon, bonne, nouvelle, mauvais, mauvaise, gentil, gentille, grand, grande, petit, petite, gros, grosse, autre, même, seul, premier, première. So first, alone, only, right? Even, même, autre, other. Okay? So campus, it's a pretty campus, un joli campus. Okay? A big nightclub, une grande boîte de nuit. De bons amis, good friends. And you see how des changed to de? Because this adjective goes before the noun and it's plural. Okay? And beau, nouveau, and vieux have an alternate masculine form if the verb begins with a vowel. The reason why we have a third form for the masculine adjectives, these three, it's because if in French they like the structure that they like is consonant vowel, consonant vowel, consonant vowel, and they will avoid to have two vowels together. Okay? So look at the masculine version. Un beau quartier. O que. O que. Un beau B-O-K. Every sound is followed by a consonant. Every vowel followed by a consonant. Beau quartier. Right? Same for feminine. Une belle amie. So if the object you're describing begins with a consonant, you use the regular version. It's masculine and it begins with a consonant. Un beau quartier. But if it's masculine and it begins with a vowel, you cannot say beau ami, right? Because there's two vowels together, oa, oa. So what you need is this version, bel ami, which is a weird version of the feminine, because it sounds like the feminine version, but it's written differently, right? Un beau quartier, un bel ami, une belle amie. The only difference between these two is that the object that they're describing begins with a consonant and begins with a vowel. Un beau quartier, un nouveau quartier, un vieux quartier, un bel ami, un nouvel ami, un vieil ami. Okay? And one last thing. Okay, so this exercise, for example, it's asking you to place the adjective either in the first position, before, or after. Remember that there's only 15 adjectives that will be placed in here. Most adjectives will be placed in the second position, after the noun. Usually they're long adjectives. If you have more than two syllables, the adjective is more than likely placed at the end in the second position. Remember, when you do these types of exercise, not only do you have to know where to place the item, you also have to figure out what gender the adjective is going to be. So femme dynamique, it's a complement, right? We're using complements. So c'est une femme dynamique, it's a dynamic woman. So it ends with an E, fine. Restaurant, bon, it's a complement. This one goes here, bon restaurant. And we use the masculine adjective, right? So the dogs are nice, sympathique. It's too long, it goes in the back. Ce sont des chiens sympathiques. And you need an S because because the dogs, there's more than one. So just make sure that you're always making those adjectives agree. Feminine, masculine, plural, singular. And you also need to know where to place them. So these 15 go before the noun, right? Any other go after. Des amis sympas, une boîte de nuit populaire, un campus moderne. And these go before. Un joli campus, une grande boîte de nuit, de bons amis. Finally, I wanted to just show you some expressions, some words when you express your preference, right? J'aime beaucoup. That means I love a lot. J'aime assez. I love somewhat. Je n'aime pas. I don't like. Je n'aime pas du tout. I don't like at all. And je préfère. So repeat after me. J'aime beaucoup. J'aime assez. Je n'aime pas. Je n'aime pas du tout. Je préfère. And then after those expressions, you can just put things. I don't like the professors. I love the professors. I love the campus. I love it enough, like the library, right? And we are using here les, le, and la. These are the three versions of French of the definite article the. Like I love the professors. I love the students, right? So in preferences in French, the definite article is required. J'aime la bibliothèque. J'aime le labo. J'aime les examens. J'aime les devoirs. J'aime les fêtes. Right? So make sure that with these expressions of preference that you're using le, la, les, because you love all of it. Okay? J'aime. And you also have this expression, this question, qu'est-ce que vous étudiez? What is it that you study? Qu'est-ce que vous étudiez? J'étudie. Répétez s'il vous plaît. J'étudie. Je n'étudie pas. And then you put here the subject that you study. J'étudie la philo. Je n'étudie pas la littérature. I don't study literature. And here are all of the subjects, right? And all of them have le, la, les, the, because they are specific, they are unique. Here we're using the definite article. I study not history, the history. In French, we have the definite article, the is required. And there are three versions: le masculine, la feminine, and les plural for both genders. Okay, well, I hope that helps. And this is the last video for competence for chapter 1. Oh, one last thing. If that word begins with a vowel sound, even though it's an H, it's a vowel sound in French, you don't pronounce the H, le and la will turn into L apostrophe, because we don't want two vowels together, as I was explaining before. You cannot say le homme or la étudiante, right? So you will say l'homme, l'étudiante. So repeat after me first, s'il vous plaît. Le livre, la librairie, l'homme, l'étudiante, les livres, les hommes, les librairies, les étudiantes. Okay? So that's it now for chapter 1. And I will see you on the I will talk to you with the other videos for the next chapter. If you have a question, please contact me and I'll make sure to answer your questions. Thank you. See you.